Here's a question that on the surface a lot of you guys might dismiss and laugh at. Why do people like you? Why would they like you? Are you able to answer this question? Can you guess why I'm asking the question? What does it say about you if people can't get along with you? If you're not likable? Now, I'm not saying to supplicate to people. I'm not saying to be a people pleaser. I'm not saying to be an empty shell that just does what everyone wants because you want validation and you want to be loved no matter what and you don't have any standards. I'm just saying, and I think you know what I'm saying, do people like you? What kind of self-reflection you might need to be doing? Could you hang out with you? Do you objectively have traits that you would like in another person? Or are you like many women who adopt the Marilyn Monroe phrase of, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best? Do you actually have any values you can point to as to why people would like being around you? Many guys will go on about how women bring precious little to relationships or even on a date, aside from sex and their bodies, and how they require much more. It's not enough these days, and they're saying they're only seen as a wallet, as a provider, as a protector, and little else. Well, what do you want as a person? What do you want them to see? What do you bring to the table in terms of your personality traits, your characteristics? Again, what do people like about you? What do you bring to the table besides your money, besides your security? If you want to be appreciated for more than just being a financial object, a protector and provider object, what human qualities do you want to be appreciated for? And what human qualities then can you start to set as a standard to seeing somebody else? And not the convenient, nice response many people say when they're asked, what's good about you? Why do people like you? They just say, I'm a nice person. I'm great. That's nothing. What specific characteristics that make up you? If you're more of an introvert, what characteristics do you really like about yourself, and what would you really gel with another person? If you're an extrovert, what qualities do you require of another person? Not just thing qualities, doing things, but like human qualities like empathy, sympathy, kindness, anger issues, values about the way you view life, family, friends, patience. Just there's so many that people overlook and just look for the stuff, the window dressing of man, woman, protector, provider, sleeping with them. And conveniently say, well, we're just animals. No, you're a civilized human being, at least you hope you would be. So what good traits do you have that most people would say are virtues for anyone to have? They're positive attributes for any human being. Quite precisely, what Aristotelian values do you have that any friend would be lucky to have in a friend like you? What are some of those values, some of those traits that your family and friends really, really value in you, that you can objectively say, I've got all this. Any woman would be happy to have traits like that in a guy. Any boss should feel grateful to have an employee with those characteristics. A lot of guys are quick to point out the deficiencies of the system, women, men, marriage, the laws, all that kind of other stuff, and they conveniently avoid themselves. Most of us can quite easily point out what we didn't like about our exes, what frustrated us, but how many take stock afterwards and really kind of go, yeah, I need to improve this about myself as well. I wasn't proud of how I handled that. And here's another very important one, especially for a lot of you tough guys and tough gals out there. What walls do you have that prevent anyone from getting to parts of you that may be good? How high are your walls that no one can climb them? Do you have an attitude like Marilyn Monroe, where I don't care what you think you have inside you, this idealized romantic version of how great you are, you might not even have it. But if no one can even get through it, if they have to wade through the gap of you at your worst to get to your crumbs of you at your best, who would do that? Would you? Would you put up with that? Would you tolerate that? Oh no, not me, but others should. Oh really? Even if you do have good characteristics, you are being lazy and dishonest to expect anyone to tolerate so much bad behavior to get to some of the nominally good stuff that you can get to other people quite easily. It's quite basic. Are people reciprocal? Do you give what you want? If you abide by the golden rule, that pretty much, it's a great template to live life rationally, especially with other people, especially when you're trying to relate to other people and the world. And also, are you a people pleaser that has absolutely no boundaries? I'm not talking about irrational walls that no one can actually get to know you, and there's no reason to put those walls up. But I'm talking, are you a people pleaser that has actually no boundaries at all, and you will mold yourself and say yes to everything just to be validated, loved, or belong to a group or a person? If you don't want to be honest with yourself, because it's your life, man, really, it's your life. You're wasting your time hiding from yourself, not other people, from yourself, because you're always left alone up here with your thoughts. You know if you're BSing yourself. If you refuse to budge an inch or change to get what you want in life, you know you'll be happier adjusting a step over here, step to the left, step to the right, and you keep doing that and refining yourself in that way. If you just want to sit still and whine and talk about the system, then you're just going to stay where you are. Your world won't get better. Again, why should anyone like you? Would you like being around yourself? Why don't people like you? Do they like you objectively? Then you can kind of know, I'm just picking the wrong people. But if you got traits that no one can like, if you got the Marilyn Monroe view of, I'm an obstreperous individual and people have to tolerate me, and then they'll be lucky enough to be graced with my good qualities. Are you offering what you want? Comment down below. I'd really like to hear your conversations and thoughts about this topic. Why do people like you? Tell me the qualities, the human qualities, empathy, sympathy, and not what you want to be, who you actually are, who you've been like for a while and you find it hard. Then you're honest with yourself. Then you can actually point out the faults of the external people. You're trying to be nice, and you're not just virtue signaling a better version of you that you never take steps towards. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Give me a thumbs up and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share my videos around on your social media. That helps me out too. If you want to say thank you, donation options below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.